Remote viewing, the purported ability to perceive distant or unseen targets through extrasensory means, and quantum physics, the study of matter and energy at the smallest scales, are seemingly disparate fields. However, speculative connections between the two have been proposed, primarily by those exploring the intersection of consciousness and quantum mechanics. While no empirical evidence conclusively links remote viewing to quantum physics, several concepts from quantum theory, such as non-locality, entanglement, and the observer effect, provide a framework for theorizing how such a phenomenon might occur. These ideas remain highly speculative, as remote viewing lacks scientific validation and quantum physics operates within rigorous mathematical and experimental boundaries. One potential connection lies in quantum non-locality, the phenomenon where particles separated by vast distances can instantaneously affect each other's states, as demonstrated in experiments with entangled particles. In quantum entanglement, two or more particles become correlated such that the state of one instantly influences the other, regardless of distance. Some proponents of remote viewing suggest that consciousness might operate similarly, accessing information from distant locations or times through a non-local mechanism. This idea posits that human consciousness could tap into a universal field, sometimes likened to the quantum wave function or a collective consciousness, allowing perception beyond the physical senses. However, this is a leap from established quantum mechanics, which applies to subatomic particles, not macroscopic phenomena like human perception. Another concept is the observer effect in quantum mechanics, where the act of measurement influences the state of a quantum system. For example, observing a particle's position collapses its wave function, determining its state. Some speculate that consciousness itself plays a role in this collapse, suggesting that human intent or attention could interact with reality at a fundamental level. In remote viewing, practitioners claim to focus their consciousness to perceive distant or hidden targets. This has led to hypotheses that conscious intent might manipulate or access quantum-level information, enabling remote perception. Yet, the observer effect in quantum physics is a measurable phenomenon in controlled settings, not a proven mechanism for psychic abilities. The idea of a quantum field, or zero-point field, also surfaces in these discussions. Some theorists propose that a universal energy field, potentially linked to the quantum vacuum, stores all information about the universe. Remote viewing might, in this view, involve accessing this field to retrieve data about distant events or locations. This concept draws loosely from quantum field theory, which describes particles as excitations in underlying fields. However, no scientific evidence supports the notion that consciousness can access such a field for information transfer, and the idea remains in the realm of pseudoscience. Critics argue that connecting remote viewing to quantum physics stretches scientific principles beyond their limits. Quantum effects like entanglement and superposition are observable in controlled laboratory conditions, typically at microscopic scales, and their relevance to macroscopic phenomena like human consciousness is unclear. Remote viewing studies, such as those conducted during the US government's Stargate project, have produced mixed results, with no consistent, replicable evidence meeting scientific standards. Skeptics point out that any perceived successes in remote viewing could result from chance, suggestion, or cognitive biases rather than quantum mechanisms. Proponents, however, argue that science has yet to fully understand consciousness, and quantum physics might offer clues. For instance, theories like the quantum mind hypothesis suggest that consciousness arises from quantum processes in the brain, potentially enabling phenomena like remote viewing. Researchers like Roger Penrose and Stuart Hameroff have explored quantum effects in neural microtubules, though their work is controversial and not directly tied to parapsychology. The connection between remote viewing and quantum physics hinges on speculative interpretations of non-locality, entanglement, and the role of consciousness in quantum systems. While these ideas inspire fascination, they lack empirical support and face significant scientific skepticism. Remote viewing remains unproven, and quantum physics does not currently provide a mechanism to explain it. Bridging these fields would require rigorous experiments demonstrating a causal link, which has yet to be achieved. Although our understanding of quantum physics is incomplete, and a stronger connection to remote viewing could be discovered in the future. Remote viewing has been documented throughout the ages through religion and spiritual practices. Our knowledge of consciousness is evolving, and governments have studied it. Our understanding of consciousness could promote greater technological breakthroughs. Something to consider. Don't forget to like and subscribe.